America is officially an independent nation. Here's a recap of all the major events that occurred on the road to independence movement. This revolution is definitely turning out to be more a political one because colonists want the British government out and their own government in. The colonists are fed up with Britain's high taxes and taxation without representation. The Stamp Act, which placed taxes on certain documents, has not been helping this matter. Recently, a group of colonists dressed as Indians dumped 3 British ships' cargo of tea into the Boston harbor in protest of the high taxes. It's been rumored that this will be the spark to the revolution. It turns out that the dumping of the tea into the harbor was a spark to the revolution. Yesterday, at Lexington and Concord, the first major battle, American militia defeated British troops. But the British will be back with a vengeance, and there will definitely be more battles to follow. It is now July 4th, 1776, and the Declaration of Independence has just been signed. Hopefully, this will show the British that Americans are serious about our independence. It is also rumored that George Washington will lead the troops in the revolution. It is now 1781, and today, at the Battle of Yorktown, General Cornwallis and his troops surrendered to George Washington. It is rumored that the British will be giving up any day now and that America will gain its independence. Today, January 14, 1783, Britain has officially recognized American independence by signing the Treaty of Paris. The revolution has officially ended. Shortly after the American independence movement ended, a new independence movement began, the Mexican independence movement. Let's take a look back at those major events. Today, September 16, 1810, 2 priests, Manuel Hidalgo and Jose Maria Morelos, have launched an independence movement. This is the start of the Mexican War of Independence. It is now 1822, and Mexico has officially gained its independence thanks to General Iturbide, who has now declared himself emperor. But this independence has caused disunity among Creoles, mestizos, and the Indians. It has been 11 years since the start of the Mexican War of Independence, and General Iturbide has signed the Plan of Iguala. The plan hopes to establish Roman Catholicism in Mexico and proclaim its independence, as well as establishing social equality. It is now 1848, and the Mexican-American War over the annexation of Texas has just ended. Mexico was led into this war by General Santa Anna, who claimed dictatorship of Mexico in 1833, killing Iturbide. Santa Anna lost California and Texas during the war. It is now 1867, and Benito Juarez has once again been elected president after being elected the first time in 1861 when he led the Liberals to defeat conservatives. In 1862, France occupied Mexico, making Maximilian of Austria the emperor. And it is now 1915, and we are in the middle of the Mexican Revolution. This revolution comes after dictator Porfirio Diaz took power of Mexico. The Mexican Revolution is being led by Madero, Villa, and Zapata. Madero, amidst the controversy, was elected president, but has been murdered after 1 week in the presidency. Now the rivals for power are Madero, Villa, Zapata, and Carranza. Mexico is engulfed in violence. It is now 1920, and after many years of turmoil, the Mexican Revolution has ended. World War I has just ended, and Britain, France, and Russia have just divided up the Ottoman Empire. France now controls Syria, Lebanon, Morocco, Tunisia, and Britain now controls Iraq, Palestine, and Jordan. These countries now being controlled by France, Britain, and Russia are none too happy about their new colonizers. Revolutionary movements are sure to come. It is now 1919, and Britain has just left Persia after opposition forces put pressure on them to leave. It is now 1921, and Reza Khan has just formed the Iranian Republic after Persian opposition of Britain in 1919 has forced them to leave the country. It is now 1936, and Iran has officially gained its independence from Britain. This independence is coming 15 years after Reza Khan officially made Iran a republic. While the republic was being formed, the Waqf movement occurred. The Waqf movement was a secular movement which sought independence, representative government, civil liberties, and less power for the pro-British monarchy. Many Waqf leaders were arrested, which caused strikes, sabotage of railroads, and the murder of British soldiers. Because of this unrest, in 1922, Britain granted Iran limited independence, and in 1936, this year, Iran was granted full. It is now 1969, and many Africans have been celebrating their independence from their colonial rulers. This will become to be known as the Age of Glamour. Sometimes African countries could gain their independence peacefully through negotiations between nationalist leaders and European rulers. But other times violence ensued. Let's take a look at both of these circumstances. I'm here at the British Gold Coast, where farmers have just started boycotting British businesses and are accusing them of stealing their profits. Riots have now ensued, and it is rumored that Britain will soon grant independence to its Gold Coast. The farmers' boycotts and riots have worked. Britain has granted its Gold Coast independence. This coming in after Kwame Nkrumah organized a socialist party and was elected the first president of the British Gold Coast. It is 1963, and celebrations are non-stop here in West Africa. After all, West African countries have peacefully negotiated their independence. I'm here in Algeria, where the French-Algerian War has just ended. The war was started by the National Liberation Front and signified the start of the Algerian decolonization movement. France ended the war, deciding that it would be better to maintain peaceful economic influence in its countries. But France has also given all of its countries the opportunity to vote, whether for France to stay in the countries and influence them or to have them out completely. Only Guinea completely voted to be rid of the French. I'm here amidst the Mau Mau Rebellion. This is its 8-year continuance, and the Kenyan people are still going strong against the British. Uganda and Tanzania are also involved in this rebellion, and it is rumored that all three countries' independence is not far off. Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya both have gained their independence, but today, thanks to non-violent movements, Britain has now freed Zambia and Malawi, and they are now independent countries.